Hey everybody, Alyssa here from Becoming Memories. Thanks so much for joining me for another How to Kill a Kit with Style process video. This is actually my very first layout, or rather it was the very first layout that I created with my August 2019 kit. I had to really stop and think about what month it was. Oh my goodness, that's terrible. Anyway, I've had this photo of my son on a carousel horse at Six Flags for quite some time now, and have wanted to scrapbook it, and I wanted to use this carousel collection, so what better time than with my How to Kill a Kit that has a bunch of this collection in it. So I started with a 6x8 paper there just to map my photo, and I tucked the branding strip from the paper behind the photo as well. And so I'm decided I wanted to use this word magical here to create my title. And I'm going to fussy cut it out, but I'm not going to make you watch all of that. And so, ta-da! By the magic of television, we are now, no, why do I always say television? Anyway, it's all cut out now. So I'm going to look through, this is a tag book, tag pack, card something, embellished card something from the Carousel collection, and this is the ephemera pack from the Carousel collection. And so, by the way, the Carousel collection has absolutely beautiful packaging. I end up using, going through this kit, I end up using several pieces of packaging from that Carousel collection, like that scalloped border over there on the ephemera pack. Just lovely. I love it when manufacturers make their packaging super usable, because I feel like it really stretches the collection, and it really just gives you some extra little details, and I think that's so fun. So anyway, moving right along, this is just me kind of flipping through what is in my kit. Like I said, this was the first layout that I created with this kit, and so I was really still sort of getting acquainted with what was in there. And this yellow polka dot is from Simple Stories. It's from one of their simple sets that has, I believe it has like a chevron on the back, and every paper in that collection is the same. It has a polka dot on one side and a chevron on the other side, just in different colors. And that was something I picked up at a yard sale, because I thought, you know, who can pass up a polka dot, right? So this is these are little tags that I cut out of a paper from that Carousel collection, and there was a paper that basically the whole back of the paper was filled with labels and tags, and I loved it, and I bought like 4 sheets of it, and I've cut them apart, and I've used them and used them and used them and used them and used them. So now I decide I need some mixed media, because why not? So I just took a pencil there and I marked kind of the edges of what I had on my, like what I had on there, so that I would know where I needed to put my mixed media, if that makes any sense. And so that was the Shimmer's Glorious Day, I believe. I didn't see it there. It might have been the Heidi Swapp Color Shine. The Shimmer's is my new Heidi Swapp Color Shine. It's called Glorious Day. It's a Vibes spray from Shimmers, and there is a comparison video up on my YouTube channel if you want to take a look. I show kind of side by side how those two different mists work. So here I'm just taking the 12x12 chipboard, also from Carousel, and I'm kind of smashing my background down flat a little bit, just to help keep it from warping. And it does end up warping just a tiny bit up there at the top, but that's mainly because this is a paper. It's not really a cardstock. It's not super thin, but you know how the papers in the paper pads are a little bit thinner than the individual papers, and this is one of those paper pads. So that did make it a little more prone to warping, unfortunately, but you know, what are you gonna do, right? I was filming this really late at night. I was waiting for my husband to get home from the airport from a trip that he had been on, and so I was feeling very indecisive. It was like 11:30 at night, and I probably had no business filming anything, but I was like, well, I'm up waiting for him. I might as well do something creative. And so on went the camera, and the wisdom of that decision is perhaps still in question. But anyhow, Those little sequin stars are from that carousel ephemera pack. And when I first saw those, I was like, I'm never going to use those. And yet, here I am using them. So, yay. So, I'm going back to the 6x8 paper pad. At this point, I don't really know how I want to finish this. I'll be honest with you, I picked that particular paper because there's another carousel paper in the collection that has like an actual tint top with a carousel on it. And I have another photo of my daughter who happens to be riding beside him there in that picture. But I want to use that paper with that photo, and so this was like my second choice. And I was like, oh, this is going to be great. I can use this hard to use paper. And then it kind of seemed to fall a little flat. But at the end of the day, I do like how it came together. So it just took a little more fidgeting, I think, than what my layouts typically took. So bringing back in that gold heart, surprisingly, that gold heart does not make it onto the finished layout, no matter how many times I try to stick it on there. So here I am back to the ephemera pack. Nope. Gold alpha. This is a gold puffy alphabet. And whoever had the idea to make a gold puffy alphabet in a script font is my new best friend. I love it. I think it's genius. So I'm writing the words "not so" right there so that my title will be "Not So Magical." Because he was just really like, really, Mom, I just want to go ride a roller coaster and I'm stuck on this carousel. He was really not feeling it. That is a piece of packaging there from my Maggie Holmes ephemera pack or something. Can't remember. That one is not from Carousel. It's from one of her other collections. And I'm just using it there to kind of put something behind that word magical, because I really want it to stand out and be a little bit more, I felt like it wasn't visible enough. So here I go again with the little tags. I think one of the problems I had with this layout was I really do like that ticket booth ephemera piece there, but it's huge and it is like the area there behind that girl is empty, right? There's nothing there. And so I felt like, I don't know, I just felt like I had a hard time layering things because there was nothing there. In retrospect, what I probably should have done is taken a piece of cardstock and just backed that, like I would back a cut file or something, or a piece of coordinating pattern paper, and then I could have like gone crazy layering the tags over there on the left-hand side and not worried about them kind of poking through that space. Does that make sense? So that glue there, that is the Scotch Quick Dry adhesive in a fine tip bottle that I got on Amazon. And so I recently switched to that from Zip Dry because Zip Dry was drying up on me in the bottle and I got annoyed with that because glue is expensive. And so there we go. This is a branding strip from, I believe it is the branding strip that was actually on that paper that I'm using as background. And so I decided to kind of block in my layout. It felt, I think the reason I struggled with it was because of the way that paper is designed. It feels so open and it sort of just feels like everything is going to float right off the page. And so once I put those strips there, I felt so much better. It just felt like everything was contained and bordered and not going to float away into space, which I know is dumb, but somehow, I don't know. I mean, maybe the way I'm describing it is dumb. I don't think the concept is dumb, but it just needed something to sort of ground it and make it feel like it was there to stay. So I'm going to try that gold heart again. Every layout has one thing, I think. Every layout has something that keeps trying to make it onto the page and doesn't in the end. And I always just laugh when I watch these videos because I'm like, Alyssa, why did you put that on there 12 times and take it off 12 times? But whatever it takes, right? I may be over 12 with that gold heart now. All right, so there we go. That right there is the final configuration of those journaling spots. I added another gold sequin heart over there. I mean star, sorry, not heart, star. Gold sequin star over there. And I'm just going to stick down those border pieces and those tags. At this point I'm almost finished, and I kind of am starting to feel almost finished. This layout is not going to have a whole heck of a lot of journaling. I have a few little notes, like little tags there where I'm going to write in the date and maybe a couple little notes, but I will have an opposing pocket page in my album, and so that's where the majority of the story will go. If I was wanting to include a lot of journaling on this page, I'm not sure where I would put it. It would be cool actually to journal in those tint lines, like vertically. Now that I'm watching the video, I'm like, ooh, I should have journaled there. That would have been cool. But of course, I didn't. So that is what it is, right? Let's see, what is left? I think I'm going to add some spatters. Looking through the 6x8 again, I'm not sure why. I know why, because I was considering fussy cutting some of those flowers to kind of layer in with those little note cards. And then I remembered that I had one of those flowers in the ephemera pack, and I was like, ta-da! Which makes this probably the first layout in the last 5 years that I haven't fussy cut anything on. So you're watching history be made. Okay, not really, but I'm going to try about 12 spots to put that other little half of the flower. In the end, I stick it back in the ephemera pack because it just doesn't quite belong on this page. Here I am trying to stick a journaling card in there. And that, spoiler alert, that doesn't make it either. It's really funny when I watch myself on these videos. I'm always like, why did you do that, Alyssa? You knew that. You should have known that wasn't going to make it. And I've lost my ruler again, so now I'm just drawing some border around the rest of the page, and I'm just using that branding strip of the 12x12 paper from Simple Stories to draw my lines. And I think that is it. I'm going to add some gold gray spatters, and that'll be it, and then I'll show you the close-ups. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love for you to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.